Hello there, I'm Ashley.
ASHLE.
One E, no Y, but I love to know why, and that is why I go by Ashley No Why. But anywho, in this installment of Shlenanigans, I, a modern polymath, will be chatting about entering into my performer era, showing recent behind the scenes, and performance clips. I recently have made a large leap into an arena that I feel as Source has been giving me signs, visions, guiding me towards performing and entertaining. There has, of course, been stints and whiffs of it throughout my life. For example, the talent show in grade school, where I just waltzed up on stage and did a solo performance as a flautist that took a lot of goal. Gravitating towards modeling and acting. I do come alive in front of the camera. Another example would be being a competitive athlete and performing in front of audiences of various sizes. I was a collegiate athlete in college. I played basketball. Now I train Muay Thai. I have yet to get into an official ring fight. Looking forward to that in 2025. Another example would be spontaneously hopping on stage for open mics, performing my poetry. But I wouldn't say in all these previous times that I fully embraced what it is to be a performer. I definitely felt, what's the term? Okay, probably think about it later and I'll edit it into the screen. But yes, I didn't fully embrace the performer essence until I feel like now I really am stepping into that. I wouldn't say that I am a shy person. There is, however, a certain comfort not being perceived by others that I quite enjoy. I really enjoy my solitude. So to come out of it and be perceived, well, it's a big deal. And this is whether analog or digital, okay? For me to come out of my solitude, there would have to be a bigger purpose. And I found that this bigger purpose is connection, but more specifically, connection through understanding. I feel as for the majority of my life, I have been severely misunderstood, which has led to me seeking understanding. So I know that it is part of my path to be perceived. There are quests that I'm called to fulfill, things and messages that I have been given to share, all stemming, for the most part, from my seeking to understand. I could go way deeper into this topic of perception and connection, but that would be in a different transmission. Okay? But there has been a recent catalyst in this entertainer performer realm. I have recently done 2 performances. One I'm calling a dress rehearsal, and then the other one was I'm calling my official debut. Coach D, the Dreamweaver, as I like to call him, he pushed me into this opportunity. He pushed me to do this kind of warm-up performance for my music, to be specific. I have been calling this performance a dress rehearsal, dip my toe in, but a performance nonetheless. This first one that I'm calling a dress rehearsal was at this lounge in St. Pete, Florida called The Study. Beautiful place, cozy vibes, totally fits into my dweeb energy. So because of this alignment, I agreed. Now, that wasn't the only reason why I agreed, certainly. But I had a little nervous, excited energy about it. With this feeling, or when this feeling arises, rather, you are pushing yourself against your comfort zone. It's the opportunity to grow and expand. That feeling never goes away. It's something you have to transmute. Every single time you get in front of an audience, or every time that you're expanding yourself and pushing against your comfort zone, you're gonna feel that feeling and you have to transmute it. I just knew that I needed to take a step into the right direction. Getting the entertainer that I see in my mind's eye actualized in the physical world, to see with my physical eyes and for other people to see with their physical eyes. When I think about how everything played out real deeply, I realized how everything really led up to this moment, to where I am, a grand performer. To be a grand performer, there are all these elements that come into play. Now, depending on the type of performance, there may be different elements, but in my case, it's sonic, fashion, and movement. Sonically, for me, my path or progression, it first started out, I would probably say, when I took up the flute, when I learned an instrument, when I learned to read music, when I studied music. Yeah, that was my start. I was learning melodies and rhythms and reading it, hearing it, seeing it, feeling it, being it every single day. I still play the flute to this day, and I plan on integrating the flute into my performances down the line. Also, sonically, after studying an instrument, I got into writing poetry, prose, and then getting the poems and the writing into music form to a beat. Now, fashion-wise, I have studied design work. I'm a visual artist as well. I've designed my own custom clothing. I've collaborated with other designers in the fashion realm. I have developed my own personal style, personal characterization. I've developed the layers of fitting in but standing out, which there's a time and place for that, by the way. Time and place to fit in, and a time and place to stand out. And there's also a time and place to do both simultaneously. And that's usually the realm that I live in for most of the time, the fit in but stand out realm. That's me, which that is one of my messages that I have been sent to share, but again, we'll dive deeper on that at a different time in a different transmission. Also, movement. Being involved in athletics, being involved in dance, and also being involved in, more specifically, martial arts. Again, everything has led to this point, to this moment. Everything that you are doing now is leading to where you're going and where you're at. Everything you've done in your past is leading here. Everything you've done in your future is leading here. Everything is now. You are here now. Be here now. Because this first dress rehearsal was at a lounge, as mentioned before, the Study in St. Pete, Florida, I kept things a little pared back. Even though my overall vision for my performance and my art and my artistry is quite expansive, I do respect and acknowledge that you have to work with what you have sometimes, and work in the bounds in which you are given and make the best out of it. Okay? So I prepared for my performance gathered all my elements as we spoke of before, the sonics. I prepared a set of an intro where I do my little spiel, my little talk, my little intro, a little introduce myself. And then a warm-up poem, a cappella style, so with no beat and no music behind it. It's like a poem song. I call it the Alchemist a cappella or Alchemist freestyle. I do have that on SoundCloud if you want to listen to it, a little demo version of it. When I release my first music project, I'll put it on there, but in a more, the production level would be higher on it. But I do have a little demo version of it on my SoundCloud. Yes, so I prepared a set of intro, alchemist, freestyle, another transition spiel where I am talking about integrated energies. And then I did my song, Ninja and Geisha, which is streaming on all platforms. And you can find it under Ashley Know Why, Ninja and Geisha. For fashion, that incorporated my hair, my makeup, my outfit, all the elements. But when you're on stage, you have to take it up to the next level, really gotta jazz it up because you're on stage. Unless you're doing some kind of juxtaposition, fit in but stand out. Because of the song that I was performing, Ninja and Geisha, I decided to be a morph of some westernized, modern ninja and geisha, tapping into one of my integrated energies that I call shlenobi. More on that later. For movement, I opted to keep it chill and work the space that I had, but I brought in a hand fan, as a prop and a dance tool. I was riding to that performance in my car, driving myself because I'm my own driver. I really was holding the vision all the way there. I was practicing my set in my head, getting the vision clear in my mind's eye to be able to bring it out to the physical realm. Wow. I am so happy that I pushed through and I did it. But when I did arrive, that nervous, excited energy did arise back up. And at first I was really stalling to get out of the car and to go into the venue, the lounge. And the Dreamweaver, he came. He must have sensed my energy. He came and I don't know, he just pushed me again. He probably didn't even notice that he did it, but he did. His presence brought me some comfort and we walked into the venue. Eventually I pushed through and did it. And I am so proud and thankful for it. I am so happy that I fought through that discomfort and got to the other side, because there's always something better on the other side when you push through the feelings of fear. Pushing through and being courageous. Now, because of this first experience, I now had a foundation, a seed foundation of a set, of a performance I can build upon. Moving forward, I also knew that in the future I would want to go deeper by including other elements like choreography and other people on the stage with me, just to add a little more flair. Eventually there'll be more sonic elements, like more songs and maybe more poems and more dweeb transmissions, which is me just talking and giving my thoughts and observations. when I perform, I'm also doing a TED Talk. Welcome to my TED Talk. The momentum of this dress rehearsal performance led me to another opportunity. Okay, that's what it's all about. I was asked if I wanted to perform at Art Raffle. Yes, of course, I want to perform at Art Raffle. I knew this was an opportunity that I could not refuse.
Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
It's too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
My gut was screaming yes. All I had to do was not let anything get in my way, including myself. Art Raffle is this lovely, beautiful event hosted by two lovebirds, an art power couple, if you will, Ari Kai and Jit Brody. Ari leans more on the musical realm, beautiful singer, I must say. Her vocals dance into my ears. And then Jit Brody, a visual artist, painter, for sure. Beautiful people curating a beautiful event. Now, it has been years since it's been put on, okay? And this is the comeback event. It's been probably at least 5 years, and I am on the flyer. I am on the event card, and it is stacked. Okay, I said yes, I'm doing the event. I can't say no. I'm on the flyer. I'm committed. Once I'm committed to something, I'm committed. But before the commitment,
I'm thinking, I'm like, la la, wow, yeah, what? I might overthink it. I try to minimize overthinking as much as possible. Now, you know what? I am trying to refrain from using the term overthinking and putting it more as I am meticulous. I am detail-oriented. Okay? More on the positive side of that term.
but the lineup is stacked. I'm a part of it. I'm also one of these talented people, okay? Imposter syndrome, be gone, because I'm here, okay? Taking up space, being perceived. All right. It was my debut performance, as I'm saying. I'm calling this my debut performance at Art Raffle, where I am on a flyer, scheduled to perform. There's many weeks out to tell people that I'm performing. It's not spontaneous. It's here as a plan. Debut music performance. So I knew I wanted to come in swinging, or kicking, if you will. I had an idea to add a special element on the next installment of Shlenanigans. First, you will find out what the special element even is. 2, you'll get a close-up, behind-the-scenes look of the preparation of the performance. And 3, performance clips of the actual performance itself. Until next time.